In January of 1924, the Contra Costa Hills were yellow and dry. The total population was barely 54,000. The dairymen and ranchers were nervous. In February, the rains finally came. The hills began to green, and the cattlemen breathed a sigh of relief. But beyond the Berkeley Hills, a storm was brewing, a crisis that would hammer Contra Costa and plunge the American West into turmoil. Shore Acres Dairy Farm in San Leandro discovered their cows had sore mouths, were slobbering, and refused to eat. Pigs from Solano County were also sick. It was a highly virulent and dreaded hoof and mouth disease. George Heck, California Director of Agriculture, placed Alameda and Solano counties under strict quarantine on February 22nd. The disease mainly affects cows, sheep, pigs, and deer. Mortality varies between 5 to nearly 40%. By February 23rd, it became clear that the disease had spread to Solano, Napa, Alameda, and Contra Costa. Panicked, soon most of the state was under quarantine. Canada closed its borders to all imports of livestock, animal products, dogs, and poultry from California, Nevada, and Oregon. On February 27th, Colorado closed its borders to all California livestock. Colorado and Montana stopped the import of California fruits and vegetables, as well as animal products. California farm workers were prevented from entering Montana. And on April 11th, 1924, Arizona closed its borders to all eastbound traffic from California. President Coolidge instructed the Democratic governor, George Hunt, to lift the Arizona blockade. After several false starts and foot dragging, the Arizona-California border was reopened. California's Republican Governor Richardson appeared politically paralyzed. Therefore, on their own, the state agricultural agents proceeded with the quarantines and the mass killing of livestock. 4 steam shovels worked around the clock, digging deep ditches. The first cattle herds were driven into the long ditches and killed by Army troops. Near the junction of El Sobrante and San Pablo Dam roads, 1,100 cows were shot on the McMahon Ranch. About 6 miles southeast of Pinole on the Fernando Ranch, another 750 were killed, covered with lime and dirt. 364 cows were shot in a large pit 1 mile east of Rodeo. Guards were stationed 24 hours a day at all the burial sites, ensuring that no one would steal the infected hides. Even more importantly, they had to prevent predators from uncovering the bodies and spreading the disease. Gases in the dead cows would sometimes cause the bodies to explode, uncovering the remains. There began a hunting and poisoning campaign aimed at eliminating coyotes and bobcats. In the rising panic, dogs and cats not confined to their homes were shot and poisoned. Between Brentwood and Rodeo, a vigorous extermination campaign was carried out. Special sterilization stations were maintained on the main roads. Even the clothes of passengers were sometimes fumigated. Many of our outdoor events were canceled. Deer were infected, and by the summer of 1925, over 22,000 deer had been killed in the Sierras. Many countries and most U.S. states banned the import of California's agricultural products. Quarantines and killings proved effective. By October, the worst was over. Thousands of cattle, hogs, sheep, goats, and deer were slaughtered. Losses ran into the millions. The economy of the state was depressed, but the people of Contra Costa were tough. They had weathered bad times before. In time, this catastrophe was forgotten, except in old newspapers and in the memories of the few who had lost it all. This was, for Contra Costa, for California, for the nation, a moment in history.